everybody? Welcome back to Crash Blade Gaming. I am your host, Crash, and today we're going to be taking a look at an ancient single prize deck, which I think is really fun to play, and pretty cool. You could deal with Iron Hands, you could deal with mirror matches, you'll see a mirror match, and you'll see kind of a mirror match, and then you'll see a way that I don't have in the deck that I think you might want to add to be able to win some matches, which is pretty cool. It got me, and it shouldn't have got me. I should have played around it, but, you know, I misplay sometimes, and it happens. Anyways, let's go ahead and get to the deck list. Single prize Ancient Box is a powerful deck, I promise you that. We have the basic Pokemon Koraidon, 140 HP Dragon Pokemon with the 2 attacks here. Primordial beat down, 30 damage for each Ancient Pokemon you have in play, only costing 2 energies. And you have Shred, which we're never going to use Shred. We don't play Fire Energy, so I'm not going to talk about it. But this is one of the main attackers, but not the main attacker. He's the early game attacker. You have 4 copies of Roaring Moon, 140 HP Dark Ancient Pokemon with the Vengeance Fleeting attack, Fletching attack, 70 damage plus 10 more damage for each ancient card in your discard pile. This is the late game attacker that can one-shot, I think, anything with the amount of ancient cards we have in this deck. I believe so. If you're able to get all the stuff in the discard, this guy can one-shot everything, even a Charizard. Unless they have the cape on, or the hero's cape or whatever that gives plus 100 HP. That thing's crazy. Anyways, 2 darkness energies for that to work. Let's check out the deck. We have a Radiant Greninja in here to get energies in the discard because Professor Sada is really good in here, so the Concealed Cards ability. It's the only non-ancient Pokemon we're playing. We have 2 copies of Flutter Mane, which I think you can go down to 1 copy of Flutter Mane. We play this because of the Midnight Fluttering ability. As long as this guy's in the active spot, your opponent's active Pokemon doesn't have an ability, so it can disrupt your opponent's ability, but we don't really attack with this guy. So maybe going down to 1 and adding in the Great Tusk that can mill your opponent would be pretty good. 2 copies of Slither Wing because Iron Hands is weak to fighting. And so in the early game, Slither Wing can one-shot those Iron Hands. So you're kind of hoping that you can get the 2 prize trade going on with that. That's why we play Slither Wing with the Burning Turbulence attack, 120 for 2 fighting energy. Although it does do 90 damage to itself, but we have ways to help out with that as well. We already talked about Koraidon. We have the item card here, Ancient Awakening Drum. We draw a card for each of our ancient Pokemon in play. So at most, this will draw 5 if we're playing with Greninja. Greninja doesn't see play. You can draw 6 with this just because you can. I forgot what these... It's an A-Spec. That's what they're called, A-Specs. That's the A-Spec we're playing. You could obviously play Counter Catcher or the Hero's Cape that I mentioned earlier. You could play different ones. I just find it that this makes this deck a little bit more consistent and easier to get ancient cards in the discard. For our late game attacker, we have 2 copies of Counter Catcher. We can go behind relatively quickly in this deck, but maybe we could go down to 1 at a second boss lords. We're playing 2 Dark Patch to help accelerate some of the darkness energy into play. 4 Earthen Vessels. We have to play 4. It's an ancient card. It gets us our energies. They go in the discard. They count towards Roaring Moon. 1 Heavy Ball, 2 Nest Ball here, 2 Ultra Ball. Originally I played 4 Nest Ball. I went 2-2 because Ultra Ball discards cards, and we kind of want to discard cards, but we don't want to discard too many, so that's why I'm only playing 2 Ultra Ball. We have a Pal Pad to recycle some of our supporters. Playing 2 Super Rods because we need energy back sometimes, or our Roaring Moons are gone. We need to get those guys back as well. 4 copies of Pokégear help us to find our supporter line. 3 Artazon as well, which is 1 Bassaurus, but I think you can play 2 and go down to 1 Counter Catcher. It really just depends on the matchups you're playing. We have 4 Explorer's Guidance here. Really good trainer for this deck. We look at the top 6 cards of our deck and put 2 of them into our hand and discard the others. So you want to discard your ancient cards. And then we have 4 Professor Sada, of course. We get to choose 2 basic Pokemon and attach an energy to each of those and then draw 3 cards, which is just great, especially when all of our Pokemon cost 2 energy to attack. It's basically you play Sada, you attach from the discard, you attach from your hand, and boom, you have an attacker ready to go. We're playing 10 energies in total, 6 darkness and 4 fighting, and of course the Ancient Booster Capsule, giving us plus 60 HP, and it's an ancient card. So in total we have a ton of ancient cards. All of these can go in the discard. Our deck gets stronger as it goes as long as you're playing Roaring Moon. And that's what makes this deck so great, is because you're able to take one-shot KOs with a single prizer. So the prize trade just usually goes in your favor when you're going against EX decks. But that is the deck. It'll be in the description down below. And let's go watch it in action. Oh, are we going up against a mirror match here? This will be crazy. Good thing we top decked that Pokégear. I can save it for next turn though. We're going to go ahead and attach an energy to our active. Give him the booster. Do I want to give him the booster? Let's give Roaring Moon the booster. And then we're going to pass a turn. I don't want to use Awakening Drum just yet. I can use the Pokégear. We can put Awakening Drum to use after we draw our next card. We weren't able to set up with a lot of Pokemon, which is okay. They may be able to get an attack off though, which will be a little bit sus if they do, but we'll see what happens. There's a Greninja. We would have loved to have a Greninja in play, but here we are. It looks like, well, we could also be playing up against this and Roaring Moon EX as well. Hopefully we play, if they play Roaring Moon EX, that'll be a misplay, and we are hoping they do that. So that'd be good for us. We'll see what our opponent does though. Professor Sada, looks like they do have a turn 1 attack. They did play Sada, but they only have one card in their discard. That's an Ancient. So they're not going to be taking the KO quite yet. We also only have 2 of our guys in play, but we may be able to get more here. We'll see what happens off of this draw. We got a Professor Sada, which doesn't really help. Let's go ahead and play the Pokégear. See if we can get a Discover Explorer's Guidance is good. Let's go ahead and play that instead of the Sada. Okay, I think this is an easy choice. Artazon and Greninja. Let's go ahead and throw down the Artazon first. How much damage are we doing? 60? We're not going to be quite taking the KO just yet, I don't think. But let's get down another... Let's get down another Roaring Moon. So this is 90 damage. You play the Greninja. I don't think there's a reason to play the Greninja, because I have this energy. Let's see what Awakening Drum gets us. 3 cards. Okay, now there's a reason to play the Greninja. Throw down another Koraidon for 120, 150, 180. So we wouldn't one-shot the Roaring Moon, so there's really no reason to play Koraidon. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. To get a Slither Wing. Play the Dark Patch to our Roaring Moon. And then we can play Sada next turn. 120. This will only be 150, so it's not quite enough. We'll attach energy to Koraidon. There's no reason to play Slither Wing. I'm just going to discard it next turn, so we'll go ahead and Primordial Beat Down. And we'll hope that they can't get more of the Ancients into their discard this following turn, so that they have to hit us again. But again, they only have to 2-shot us, so we'll be okay. The Artazon's going to help them out a little bit. But if we can get to our Koraidon one-shotting their, not Koraidon, our Roaring Moons, one-shotting their Roaring Moons, we should be in a good spot. We also have energy to accelerate into play. Oh, Brute Bonnet. Huh. Roaring Moon and Brute Bonnet. Why? I mean, it is an ancient Pokemon. You can do a little bit extra poison damage, but does it make a difference? I mean, is Brute Bonnet better to play than Slither Wing? Because Slither Wing can KO some stuff for us. They are playing Roaring Moon EX, but they did get rid of it. So now they got quite a few Ancients in there, just 4. So they're not really doing that much, and they don't have another attacker either. So we could be set up really well here for us. I might promote the Koraidon, but don't have another energy in hand. We'll see what we can do here. Earthen Vessel, another ancient card going in the discard for our opponent. 2 of them. Fair play. Oh, they play water energy for the Greninja. Okay. How do you accelerate to Greninja though? Walking Wake! This is what's going on. It's a Walking Wake, Roaring Moon, a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. Another ancient box deck. We're fine that they play a 2-prizer, because we're all single prizers, and so it kind of just helps us out a ton. They already played a supporter, so we do not expect them to be able to attack with Walking Wake this turn. Ancient booster on Brute Bonnet, that's fine. They did bounce my Artazon, which is a little bad, but that's okay. Town Store is actually nice for us. We can put our ancient boosters onto our Roaring Moons so that they can't one-shot them. Because you're only going to be doing 120 because we're not going to be affected by special conditions. There's a Morpeko for free retreat from our opponent, and we should see a knockout here soon. And there it is. Kind of want to attack with Koraidon again, but I don't think they can knock out this Roaring Moon their next turn. Ooh, that's good. We can get rid of those Slither Wings. Let's go. Actually, let's do the town store first to thin out the booster capsules that we know we have in there. And then we can Sada and go ahead and power up our Roaring Moons. Oh, grab that. Let's go. Put that there. And draw some cards. Okay. Boss, Earthen Vessel, Ultra Ball. How much are we hitting? 120. Let's go ahead and Ultra Ball away the Slithers. We don't need those guys. Let's grab Flutter Mane. And then we can Earthen Vessel away the Flutter. Just get some more Ancients in the discard. A couple more energies for us. We can attach that to Roaring Moon, and then I can Concealed away this guy. Let's play the Heavy Ball. Another Roaring Moon is great. We'll hold that one in the hand though, because I don't want it to get trapped. And we'll just do Vengeance Fleeting for 160. Taking the knockout here, and I don't believe our opponent can knock us out unless they find a way to get rid of my booster capsule. An energy for Greninja to discard, that's good. They promote the more Pekka. I guess they could power up another Roaring Moon, but is their Roaring Moon doing enough? 70 plus, let's see, 80, 90, 100, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Not quite. Not quite enough. They failed the town store, so all their boosters are in play. One's in the discard, so 2 are in the discard. All their boosters are in play. And we are going to have a hard time one-shotting Walking Wake for now. Because we still have a lot of our stuff that's in our hand and not in the discard. I believe we did 70... I forgot how much damage we did. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we're doing 160. This will be 180. 190, 200 if they KO the Roaring Moon, but I don't think they will. Ooh, another EX for us. We can also have a Boss's Orders play as well once we start hitting higher with our Roaring Moons. An Irida. So let's see, our following turn we can Roaring Moon, Koraidon, Sada to them, Energy Switch, plus, what was the other card? A Boss? Is that what I saw? Energy Switch plus Boss? Are you weak to Grass? Okay. So they have the Energy Switch play onto Walking Wake, but they are not going to be able to KO us. They actually should have powered up Roaring Moon, but I don't think they had the double dark energy for that. There goes a Great Tusk. I was thinking about putting Great Tusk in this deck, like for a control matchup, but I don't have ways to pick up my Pokemon. And you could just mill them out. Toxic Powder's not going to work, bro. We're an Ancient deck. Ancients don't do good against Ancients. You're not going to one-shot me. You're only going to hit for 120. Boom, alright. Super Rod's nice to see. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and conceal cards, get rid of that energy. More Pokégears. I don't think we have another booster capsule in there. We don't. We have a dark energy in there? We do. So we'll go ahead and Sada onto these two. Everybody's ready for attacking. I'm going to burn the Nest Ball. We don't need it. And we're just going to hit for 170 now. Half hit the Walking Wake. And we'll go from there. I do want another energy for the Koraidon to hit. Maybe I shouldn't have discarded with Greninja, because it would be nice for Koraidon to come and finish up the Walking Wake. so that we can get them out of our hands. We should hit an energy with Explorer's Guidance though. If we don't, I'll be a little bit upset. But that's one more dude in the discard for us to have to power up our Roaring Moons though. So hopefully Explorer's Guidance can get us like Earthen Vessel plus Ultra Ball so I can discard what's in my hand. Ooh, they're powering up the Morpeko. They realize that they need to have one prize or attackers or they're not going to win the prize trade here. Lumineon. I think that's going to go for a Sada. Yep. They do need to power up the Roaring Moon here on the bench. 170, 180, 190. Ugh, I'm so close to one-shotting this. Let's see. He does need to have a Stadium in play or Fringing Galgi to also get these KOs on us. There goes a Sada for our opponent. We can also actually Pokégear for Professor Sada as well to power up one of my two Pokemon, so I think we're fine. I think we'll Pokégear to guarantee us a Sada so that we can attack with Koraidon. And then that should be good for us to KO. Koraidon is doing 30, 60, 90, which is actually short, so I would have to play in my fourth Roaring Moon. Ooh, good hits for them. Double Dark Patches and Energy Switches. They can retreat this Walking Wake and come in with Roaring Moon, who's fresh, and I cannot one-shot the Roaring Moon just yet. But if they do that, I may switch up my plans. Oh, they Dark Patch the Morpeko. They still have Energy Switch anyway, so Roaring Moon can come in for the KO. They will go in with Morpeko. That's fine with me. Could also boss up the Lumineon. Lumineon's in one-shot range. Oh, they're short by 10. What are you doing, bro? Oh, no. That was just a wasted attack for you. That was just a wasted attack. Okay. Do I bother playing this Ultra Ball right now? I don't think so. I'm doing exactly 170. I think we just boss up the Lumineon, because I don't care if they come in with Walking Wake or Roaring Moon, and we just KO this guy. I can roll the Pokestop too. Yep, that's perfectly fine. That's Earthen Vessel. Get rid of this. Grab that. That'll work. That's two more in there. Play that on you. And hit for 190. Yeah, we'll gladly take that KO. I don't think our opponent knew that they were 10 damage short. There's another Ancient Booster Capsule. Got the Heavy Ball, which we don't need. And now I think I can go ahead and Ultra Ball away this fourth Roaring Moon I have in my hand. Booster Capsule can go onto the third Roaring Moon on the bench. Because with Booster Capsule, actually we don't even need to play the Booster Capsule unless Walking Wake's going to attack. So then we do. So Booster Capsule does work in this matchup against the Walking Wake at least. So maybe we do play it down. It was a good roll on the Pokestops. How many Sadas do I have left? Dark Patch. Are they going to come in with Brute? They're going to try to attack with a Brute. We got two Sadas in the discard. I think we're going to Ultra Ball away these two guys. Because we're only hitting 190. It'd be nice to be able to one-shot Roaring Moon, so I have to get 4 Ancients in the discard, right? We're hitting 190? I believe so. A boss? Why are you leaving that Roaring Moon alive? I guess they don't want these two to go into the discard? I suppose? That's fine. It's also important to note we are out of energy, so the Super Rod is very important for Greninja. They could literally boss trap Greninja and we'd be a little stuck. But thankfully we're okay. Alright, they're coming up with the Roaring Moon to KO this guy. Though they have to get rid of Pokestop. To do 220. Okay, we'll come up with the fresh Roaring Moon then. Another Koraidon. So we're hitting exactly 200. So we can Ultra Ball away these. And see what's left in the deck. Okay. Leave everything in there. So now we're hitting 220, and then all we have to do is play Explorer's Guidance or Sada. Let's actually just play the Sada, because that gets energy into play for the Koraidon. Cool. We're going to leave everything in hand. And that's 230. That's a KO. I don't know if they're playing Ionos. But we just need one more prize. And we got the dub here. Double Earthen Vessel! That's where all the Earthen Vessels went. So now we're one-shotting anything they put into play. They're out of booster capsules. They still have to take 4 prizes. So they got a long way to go. They could trap our Radiant Greninja, but that's why I play Super Rod. And we have Super Rod plus Earthen Vessel in hand, so that's actually not going to work for them either. Thornton. Okay. Thorntoning. Onto Great Tusk. You're going to discard the top cards. 4? Ooh, good thing I didn't play into Great Tusk here. They're going to discard the top 4 of my deck, but that's fine. I'm glad I didn't do Explorer's Guidance. That would have... They would have won the game if I did Explorer's Guidance. Oh my gosh. That's insane. I didn't even think about that, and I'm glad I just did. I'm glad I played freaking Sada instead. Oh, that would have been brutal. That's a reason to play Great Tusk. If they do get low, you kind of just win. People don't expect that, but they did play Thornton, so Great Tusk is going to work. And then they could see, they saw the writing on the wall. Ooh, mirror match. Is that a Flutter Mane? Nice. We start with Flutter Mane. Okay, we play the heavy ball first. We'll take the Koraidon. And then we want to Nest Ball for Greninja. And let's go ahead and conceal cards away the energy. Not great. Guess we play him down and pass. Not great, but workable. We can still get down Roaring Moon. So let's see, 30, 60, 90, 120, 150. If they don't get a booster capsule, we can KO Roaring Moon. He's got the cool artworks, man. So it's a mirror match. Let's see what we can do. We got to get the first KO, and I think once we get the first KO, we'll be fine. I think. But we have Flutter Mane in the active, so that's going to be a little tricky. So we're going to have to Sada to that, as well as the Koraidon on the bench if we can set up. But our opponent looks like they're doing pretty well. They get their own Sada. They go to the Koraidon. They may not have a way to move the Roaring Moon, though. Get another Sada. They may not have a way to move the Roaring Moon, which will be good for us. They manually attach. Booster capsule it. Okay, so we won't be able to KO it that easily anymore. Earthen Vessel's nice. What do I get rid of, though? We don't have a Sada. And we can't draw into one. Well, we could. Earthen Vessel of Booster Capsule. Let's get these. Then we can conceal cards away the darkness energy. Seems good. Pokégear can get us a Sada. And we can attack with Koraidon. Which I don't think's really gonna... I mean, it saves Flutter Mane though. Roaring Moon is gonna get a KO. Let's see if we get there. There's a Sada. Okay. Koraidon Flutter Mane. Draw 3. There's some Roaring Moons, which is good. Let's throw those down. Let's give these guys the boosters. Attach energy to Koraidon. And then we can retreat into Koraidon. Dark Patch to one of my boys on the bench. And we hit for 120. Half hitting this guy, and their active Roaring Moon isn't going to one-shot the Koraidon yet. We'll see what they have in their hand. We do know they have a Sada, which can accelerate that one energy they just got rid of. They attach manually. An Explorer's Guidance that will help them get some more stuff in the discard, but will help them to get 7 in the discard. That's how much they need. So I don't... They have to keep 2, and they'll discard 4. 5, 6. Doesn't look like it helped them get there. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's an Artazon, which will help. And they get down another Roaring Moon, which is fine for us. Ancient Booster onto the Koraidon. That'll be their next attacker, but I don't think their Roaring Moon KOs us, so we're fine there. Cool. They were short by 30. So we're going to get the first knockout, which is really good. Top deck and Explorer's Guidance, so we're just going to go ahead and play that. We definitely want the Super Rod. I think we want the Darkness Energy, so I can have a backup attacker for next turn. Do I want to conceal cards? I don't think so. It's risky to conceal cards, but I think we actually can because I have another Explorer's Guidance and I should hit something else. Okay. Not punished. We'll attach manually and we'll take the KO 150. We get our single prize. We'll take prize number 5. That does me good most of the time. Heavy Ball's not that great, but okay. Actually, I think it is. We have a Slither Wing in there, so that will bump up the damage of Roaring Moon because I can Ultra Ball that away. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're hitting 140 with our Roaring Moons. So we can boss KO this Roaring Moon or that Roaring Moon next turn, which is good. We can also boss KO the Flutter Mane, but we actually want to keep the Flutter Mane in play. Doesn't hurt us at all. It just hurts them, limits their bench space, I suppose. We can also KO Greninja. But we're going to KO this Roaring Moon if they don't get a Capsule on it, because our Koraidon's going to go down. I think that's the correct play. That's only doing 150. And their own is only doing 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They're not one-shotting our Roaring Moons yet. So we know we can play the Heavy Ball to get out a Slither Wing. So we will do that. Then we can Ultra Ball away these. And grab another Slither Wing, because we don't need them. Which are we hitting? 170? We're almost there at one-shot range. And then... How many Dark Energies do I have in the discard? Just 1? So let's do an Explorer's Guidance. We'll take the Pal Pad and the Pokégear. So we'll take the energy. Second conceal card's away the energy. Let's go ahead and conceal cards that away. Counter Catcher Nest Ball. Just don't really help too much. Where's the rest of my darkness energies, man? 2 Sadas in there. 2 darkness energies in there. Let's throw down the Koraidon, might as well. And then let's Ultra Ball away this and this. Just thinning. We are definitely going to need a Sada at some point. But we're hitting at least 200, which is the KO. So without me noticing, I did everything I needed to do to get the one-shots, which is good, because I wasn't even thinking that Awakening Drum is a really good prize. So that's another ancient card that goes into play, and that's going to draw us 5 cards. Or 6, depending on what happens. I was also supposed to boss his orders last turn, too. What was I... Guys, I don't even know what happened. I'm not punished. That was lucky to be able to get to 200 there. I'm not going to lie. I was lucky to be able to get to 200. It's good that we got the KO, but actually kind of bad that we got the KO. Because now you're hitting 70 plus that 80, 90. Oh gosh, I hate when it does that. We'll see what they hit. Let's just go with that. There's energy. We're up a prize though. Lost Vacuum. They are going to be able to take the KO on the active since they're getting rid of my Ancient Booster Capsule. I'm sure. So now this guy's basically KOable. They're only hitting for 170. So Pal Pad Pokégear plus Awakening Drum hopefully gets us a Sada, because that's absolutely what we need. And an energy, actually. Well, we top deck the Sada. We can Super Rod back in. How many prizes do they still have left? 4? Okay. Yes, we want to Super Rod back in energy. That and these 2. And then we want to put 1 back down on the bench. And let's go ahead and Pokégear now. I want to thin the deck out a little bit. Place Sada here. And attach. There's the other Darkness Energy. We've got some Earthen Vessels that we can do as well, so let's do that. And get all of our energies into our hand, which I think is great. Oh, what are we hitting? 220? Attach for turn. And then we want to Pal Pad back in both Sadas. I think we'll Pal Pad next turn. We're hit for 220, take the KO. And see where it takes us. We need a good prize here. Heavy Ball, get out of here, Heavy Ball! They are down 3 of their Sadas. They have a superior energy retrieval. Okay. That gets them the energy for the Roaring Moon, but they need a Sada to be able to attack next turn. I don't know if they're hitting enough. Well, they should be. They just hit for 170 and we just put like 4. They just put 4 cards, so they should be getting the KO here. Yeah, 210. Okay. Roaring Moon it up. There's the other Sada, which is perfect. Okay. Let's play that. We need to take 3 prizes. So let's go ahead and attach to the active. There's a Sada in our prizes, Earthen Vessel Energy. Do I Pal Pad now? I need to power up the Koraidon at some point. Well, Koraidon only needs a fighting energy, so we can attach this for turn. And just take the KO here. We have what we need. Prize number 1 is the Sada. Okay. Oh no, we have 4 cards remaining! I should have super rotted! Oh no, I just did this! Bro! I just like beat that last game. Oh man. I should have super rotted Pal Pad this turn! No, bro! I forgot! Dang it! This is what happens when you get lucky and then you don't, right? Maybe we should play one of those. Oh, it's good for the mirror. Well, at least you get to see that. Dang it, man. Thank you for sticking around to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching this Ancient Box deck do some work, and then do some work, but then lose in an unconventional way, which kind of sucked for me, but whatever. I won't lose like that again, that's for sure. I just blew my mind. Anyways, I appreciate that you come to the end of videos to watch the outros, and we'll see you next time on Crash Play Gaming.